So that's a pretty shocking development, and it's an indication perhaps of what may be to come in terms of the divisions this may deepen in this country. There is a chance, of course, that this is this kind of thing that will make people stop and think about the political atmosphere and the dialogue in America, but there's a chance that it can make it a whole lot worse.
Well, it's been a charged atmosphere for many months and years, really, hasn't it, Gary? Of course, you covered the events of January 6th, and this is something that may have been bubbling under the surface for a long time, just speaking of those kinds of tensions that you've been mentioning. I just want to flash back, though, because you were there outside the events. When you heard those shots, you spoke to people that were obviously inside. Can you just walk us through and kind of help us understand what those moments were like?
Well, we were standing just a few feet from where I am now, and we were talking to our colleagues on the BBC World Service, and suddenly we heard this volley of gunfire, and it was immediately obvious that that's what it was, that it was gunfire. It wasn't a car backfiring or a motorcycle or anything like that. And we got down on the ground as we had no idea where these bullets were going or where they were coming from or who was being shot at. There's no cover here. It's just like fields. There's nowhere to go, really. So we're flat on the dirt. And then people started streaming out of there. You heard screaming happening. And we started to speak to people as they came out, and we spoke to a number of people. Some were very emotional, some were very angry. One guy, in fact, here on BBC News tried to stop us telling you what was happening, telling the world what was happening, and we had to try and explain to him live on air that this is what we do. This is what we try and do. We try and explain the world to people in the best way we possibly can. We had another eyewitness who said that he had been just outside the perimeter, and he'd come down after a party with some friends to listen to the rally. They didn't have tickets or anything. And he'd seen a guy climbing onto this single-story building, which is to the right of the stage as Donald Trump was on it. It has a white roof, and he said he saw this guy climb onto this roof with a rifle and tried to point this out to the security services, Secret Service, the police. He said he was doing this for a couple of minutes or so.